Many of us know the saying that comparison is the thief of all joy. And I want you to hold that thought because we're going to circle back around and talk about that very soon. I want to take a moment to talk about time. Time is interesting because time spent can't be earned back. But if you're healthy and you stay present, you can always make more time. Now, I will preface this by saying that any time that you spend time doing something or being somewhere, you're also spending energy. So it's important to know that time and energy are inextricably linked. And there is a growing belief, and I believe this as well, that the currency of the universe is actually energy, and money is just how we measure this. So maybe that's where the saying time is money comes from. I don't know. But my point is time is extremely valuable to all of us. And the funny thing is, it's also very punishing. We tend to look at the time we've spent and stack it up against our achievements or our life circumstances, and sometimes it can make us feel stuck. It can make us feel like we're in a rut, especially when we compare someone else who spent a similar amount of time in life and has achieved something that's different to what you've achieved. In my case, I've been alive for 30 plus years, and I look at other people that have been alive for around 30 years, and I think they've achieved a lot more than I've achieved. Now, we shouldn't be comparing, right? Comparison is something that we shouldn't do as humans, and it actually isn't the right approach. But unfortunately, even from a young age, we're conditioned to compare. From school to social media to even our friends and family, comparison feeds off our insecurities, and it's always there. It's very hard to shake off. We're always comparing ourselves with people we grew up with, or people at work, or people on social media that we follow. And the funny thing is, it wasn't always like this. As children, we would watch people achieve things and we would believe that we also could achieve those things. I remember being 7 watching a World Cup and seeing an 18-year-old represent our country in football. And I thought, wow, that could be me one day. I'm 7, 18 is so far away, I could still achieve that. But as we grow older, that positivity, that optimism, it kind of dies. So one thing I do when I'm feeling lost is I think about my current position on this timeline. So maybe I'm 30, but I plan to live till 150, or I believe I'll live till 150. And I think I'm only 20% into my life. Now, I might think of someone who's 35, who's worked 60-hour weeks for 10 years and has bought multiple houses and is extremely successful. But because they're under so much pressure, they haven't quite looked after their health or their spirit. And they may be 35, they may live till they're 70. So I'm going to try and put this into a diagram to get my point across more clearly. But if person A has a timeline of 150 years and they've only lived 30 years so far, they've essentially spent 20% of the time that they have. Person B, on the other hand, who has different priorities, might have a timeline of 70 years if they're lucky. And at a very similar age, let's say 35, they've spent 50% of their time. So this really puts into perspective. Now, this is not me saying that being healthy is superior to being successful and unhealthy. These human experiences are both valid in their own way. This is me saying that it doesn't make sense to compare a house that's 20% built to a house that's 50% built. And when you think about it like that, you start understanding that these journeys are both very unique and very different. So this is me saying don't compare. But if you find that you're compelled to, or that subconsciously you are, just make more time. If you look after your vessel, if you eat healthy, if you feel into your body, you can make more years, and that gives you more opportunity to make mistakes and to learn from those mistakes and to experience more of life. And that's still a life well lived.